the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois has ordered Chicago State University to release the credentials of President Bola Tinubu. Now, Tinubu's credentials show that he graduated from CSU in 1979 with a bachelor's degree in business administration, accounting and management. But there have been allegations bordering on discrepancies in his certificate. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2023 election had approached the court seeking to compel the university to release Tinubu's records on the grounds that the documents would strengthen his seat challenging the president's electoral victory. Now, on September 19, Jeffrey Gilbert, a U.S. magistrate judge, granted the request and ordered TSU to release Tinubu's academic records within 24 hours. Well, unfortunately, we had to unfortunately, that was not done. So there was the Tinubu's his lawyers had to appeal that one. But here we are again. The court in the US has said, look, 48 hours from Saturday, which expires today. Now, your thoughts on this, Victor?
As a Nigerian, I'm embarrassed. I don't know why the certificate should be a big deal. Our president sounds intelligent and knowledgeable. At least when he was a governor, we saw the performance. He was hired by Mobile and rose to a great height. I'm wondering, is there a foundational problem? I know there are people who are naturally intelligent. There are those who have been doctors for years. Yeah? And it turns out later that they were just naturally intelligent people who knew how to. There are people who have gone to court, as Ufeli, if he comes back, will attest. They argue cases very, very well. Could it be that we have a president who is that super intelligent? Otherwise, what is the force about certificate or no certificate? I would gladly say to anyone who wants, go to my school, ask, the records are there. Or as some would say, go and verify. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm wondering why the president is fighting this. I'm wondering why. I don't know why. I don't. When you become a public officer, nothing is private about you anymore, not least being your certificate. And if you presented this certificate to the authorities, then it is open for scrutiny. I know when I ran for president, where it was displayed in Abuja, you go there, you'll see everything submitted to INEC, your certificate, your school. I remember seeing Atiku Zone because he ran at the same time, 2019. I went there and I saw Atiku Zone and all that, what he presented and all that. So it is there for the public to see. Outside on the wall, everything was there at INEC headquarters. It was displayed. So everyone can go there and see. Now, if that is there for public scrutiny and INEC can put it out there for people to look at, then what is my president hiding? So I'm a bit worried. And the terrible thing for me in this is the fact that, and I find my friends abroad are mocking me personally. What is your president hiding? I want to beg him for whatever it's worth. There's nothing. You went to Chicago. You have said so. Let them release these records. Let us look at it. Unless there's more to it than meets the eye.
Now, what could be contained in the records that would cause irreparable damage to the person of the president? Because that was what he alluded to earlier.
The only thing that could cause irreparable damage to a certificate that I, for instance, have earned is if the foundation is faulty, if I lied, and you can build something upon, if If your foundation is faulty, it's like you entered with somebody's WAEC, for instance. Used somebody's WAEC result, did a change of name and went to the university with it. Even if you come out of the first class, the foundation is already faulty. Because the minute they discover that what you were admitted with was faulty, everything crumbles. Could that be the case? Could it also be, as is being speculated, that the original person who got admitted is a lady who is alleged died and somebody took advantage of that? Could that be the case? We don't know. Everything is speculative right now. And I'm just saying, if that is the case, then it could cause irreparable damage to his person and also to Nigeria's image locally and internationally. You know, so if the foundation is faulty truly, then it could cause irreparable damage. So the question therefore is the foundation faulty? If it's not, I don't see what can cause irreparable damage.
All right, quickly, let me just ask you this final one so that we'll let you go. Could there be potential consequences for Chicago State University if they fail to release the papers? If they fail to do so, they've been given 40
You know what they
hours
say? You know the joke about it don't not be Lagos. I'll say America, not be Niger. The court system there is different from here. Here you can control, you can manipulate, and many judges are alleged to be corrupt. There will be great consequences. And you know these universities depend on sponsors, donors, and all that. I can assure you that if they do not, in fact, they are already damaged to an extent right now. I read this morning on my way here that the lady who was purported to have signed the 1979 certificate, who said it's like she claimed her signature was forged and that she said she's going to sue our dear president. I saw that on my way here. I'm here to verify it. If that is the case, this is not going anywhere. It's not going away very soon. Now, for Chicago State, there will be irreparable damage, I can assure you, because it will bring that school into great disrepute. Secondly, it also means that probably there are people within the system that are compromised. Okay, unless that certificate was obtained from Oluwole, you know. Now,
the school have said yes, Bola.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm saying
graduated from
yes.
From there.
If it turns out that they are covering things, then it could be I don't know, that so-called irreparable damage will come out of it. Secondly, however it goes, unfortunately, what Atiku has done has caused irreparable damage, not just to Nigeria's, the president's image, but to Nigeria's image as well.
What Atiku has done?
Yes. When I saw what Atiku has done, the case he has brought, to bring this out. And we could have inspired all this if the president had simply, honorably just said, look, my school, release this thing, what's the big deal? I'll go on our school now. I'll not collect school fees from me. He should have just done that and saved us all this while, because you can't win in the American judicial system. If you take bribe, you can bribe here, but there's a limit. And you know what? If you lie under oath, they don't joke with it. If you lie under oath, perjury, it's unpardonable.
But there's a man that came out and said he actually was in class with the.
That was interesting.
Yes.
You know why I found it interesting? I saw it on WhatsApp. I saw a yearbook.
Yes.
I saw maybe the man's this or whatever, but I didn't see my president's picture.
Maybe he was not on that same page.
They should have showed us the page, because me, for instance, my first, second, and third degrees, I made sure I was always buying the graduation. You understand what I'm saying? I do. I have them. You understand? And I keep them very, very well.
All right.
We don't have pictures, but you will see the names.
Okay. Now, in one minute, please, because we have to let you go now. In about a minute, wrap up your thoughts on the topic, on the subject so far.
The first and the second, or just the last one?
Both of them.
For the first one, I want to say that I think the president should be more real. Not everything must be propaganda. Try and find out what the problem of the people is and try and empathize with people and solve real problems. Don't throw money. You see, when you begin to, settlement will only temporarily solve problems. It doesn't solve problems. Avoid settlement syndromes, look at the root of the problem and deal with it. Then for the certificate, please spare us all this embarrassment. Ask Chicago to release it and let us know what the situation is. You are an intelligent man. You have defended the certificate before now, unless the foundation is faulty. If it is, say it openly, confess, and let Nigerians move on. I'm sure we have a good heart who will forgive, if that is the case.
All right, then, thank you very much, Dr. Victor Okai. Thank you for staying with us on the program. Evans Ofeli is still with us. I do understand that Evans will remain with us up until a certain time on the program, but we have to go on a break now, and we have to let Dr. Victor Okai excuse us. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. It's not over yet. Stay with us.
Welcome, you're still watching VOP this morning, and with us is Barista Evans, still on this issue of the certificate. I would like to ask this. Did the court order the Chicago State University to release Tinubu'S credentials at this time? Why now? This is, this certificate issue has lingered for quite a while, even before the verdict by the High Court. So why is this coming up now? Why is the U.S. court now finally ordering this university to release Tinubu'S credentials? Why is that happening right now? Barista Evans?
Yeah, before now, there was a law they cited for which would not allow for his records to be released because he has contended it. Okay? But the courts in the instant case have now made an order to the effect that result of records be released, academic record be released. Okay? The question is, if you say why now? Why now? Because before now, the legal team of the president contended it and filed a motion to stay, execution before now, or proceedings before now. So right now, the court have finally made an order, and I've also gone further to say that if the president team tries to appeal, that application will be denied. Okay, I think right now the court have done the right thing in terms of having this record released to the public. And the further question we should ask is, why is the president resisting attempts to have this thing in the public? In the first place, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did not in any way say that you must attend the university before you can qualify to be a president of the country. The Constitution didn't say so. In fact, the minimum qualification that the court gave is your ability to read and write in the estimation of INEC. Attempt that you must have attempted SSCE. It did not even say you must have passed it. You must have attempted it, or you have its alternative and all that. So that is the requirements. So, but in this case, where you now say you attended the university, he that alleges must prove. If you say you attended the university and you have filled it, and because that form is on oath, it's on oath to the extent that if anything turns out to be false therein, it will be perjury, and perjury will be that you lied on that oath. Okay? So, and the president had even created more tension in the public space when his legal team came out and said that if that result is released to the public, pleading with the university now that if that result is released to the public, it's going to lead to irreparable damage, and that bloggers and the rest of them will use it to tarnish the image. Now, that is what even created more curiosity. I think that the president himself contributed more to his current complex position than even Atiku, who is making the application to have this result released. Because when you tell the public that what you have, if it is released, it will lead to irreparable damage, it means that there is something you're hiding somewhere. That's what it means. And because the president's identity has been in doubt for a long time, his family lineage is a question of controversy. His age is a question of controversy. His gender is a question of controversy. Everything surrounding him is quite a mystery. So there's a need that someday, the institutions that he claimed to have attended, what Atiku is doing is not wrong. Before now, the Electoral Act 2010 gave that mandate to anybody. Anybody can go to court or demand for whatever it is to say that this person submitted a forged certificate or there's something wrong somewhere. But the 2022 Act, now the 2020 Act of the Electoral Act now have shrunk that to only contestants in an election. Atiku was a candidate in the just concluded election. He's in court challenging the outcome of the election, and he has every right under the law to do what he's doing.
All right. So can the Supreme Court now, admit this Chicago records, in its, to bring about its verdict in the long run?
Generally speaking, it is not in the place of the Supreme Court to listen to fresh argument in a court of law, because the Supreme Court does not have original jurisdiction. That is the first phase of it. But in this case, an exception, because where the issue of certificate have been argued in the substantive suit, that's the petition tribunal, it has been argued then, but there were no sufficient evidence to ground that claim. So now at the Supreme Court, this document is being procured to further that argument. It is allowed under the law that when you talk about an evidence, but you are unable to produce that evidence as at the time you had that case at the Court of First Instance, if the case have moved now to the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court, and you're not able to lay your hand on that document, you can get that document, and on appeal, it is not a fresh matter because it was in the substantive suit in the Court of First Instance. That same document, you can ask for a leave of court to have it tendered at the Supreme Court, referencing the fact that it was an issue under reference from the beginning of the case in question. So at this stage, it can be admissible by the Supreme Court.
All right, Barrister. So just to get your final thoughts, I would ask this. What is this, what effect will this big reveal, so to speak, have on the Nigerian politics, as it is viewed by the international public? What is the effect of this, what if things go the other way, if things go the other way, how does this impact our politics here in Nigeria?
Released. So we don't know what the outcome will be because the record have not been released. If the record have been released and we find out that the president did anything shady, okay, it's actually going to be disqualification. Okay, because in that case, the issues would have been properly activated that there was he lied on that foot and there was forgery somewhere. Okay, but as we speak now, we need time to find out what the details of that academic record is vis-a-vis the identity of the Nigerian president, whether or not the president altered anything. And it's also going to help the school and all that. The school will also be exonerated from what has happened so far, because as far as I'm concerned, the school have made a lot of foot dragging on this, and one wonders why that happened until the court made a pronouncement. The school was unwilling to release the academic record, maybe because of the law they talked about, which is supposed to conceal that. But right now, we're talking about an order emanating from a court, which has said, okay, you have to release this to the public. So until that is released and until a proper evaluation is done on that document, and please, the public should know beforehand that whatever is released to the public, like as a president academic record, cannot constitute the decision of the Supreme Court. What the public thinks about the document will not constitute the decision of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will have to look at it and make its decision on the basis of the material evidence, the consistency, the record, and all that. So that is what will be done. It is not anything that is released. The public will take one side, even when the thing is not supposed to, even if it's not supposed to be that way, but because a lot of people for or against it, people will take side.
Unfortunately, we have to let you go at this point. We do appreciate you for your time, because we'll have to wrap this segment up and go on to other parts of the show. But thank you very much, Barrister Evans Ufeli, for being with us on the program. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go into other segments of the show.